On court and in the boardroom, great returns have always been key for Serena Williams. Sharing how her phenomenal tennis achievements relied on the same passion that now drives her investment success, the sporting legend was the star attraction at SuperReturn International, the global gathering for those at the top of their game in the world of private capital.
For me, it's just really, not only you get the rewards of being able to have something go big and that so many millions of people are using, many millions and millions of people are using, but also changing their lives. And so I like having that impact on, clearly I like having impact on people's lives.
From Grand Slams to Grand Prix, 5,500 investment professionals from more than 70 countries also heard from Nico Rosberg. The former Formula One world champion made winning decisions under pressure on the track and is now deploying those skills in venture.
I look for a competition, I love to compete, love to win, and venture is very dynamic, it's a very energetic space to be active in, incredibly, it's fascinating. The ideas that some of these incredible founders are coming up with and building and that are going to impact our lives, it's so cool to be deeply involved in this space.
Attracting more than 1,800 LPs representing $50 trillion of assets under management, it wasn't just big hitters from the sporting world in Berlin, but also the most influential players in private markets, sharing their leading insights.
Our industry has a distinguished record in helping companies successfully navigate such periods. And through its interventionist nature, private equity has consistently been a catalyst for change.
And what I try to emphasize to folks is when you're a long-term investor, you have to invest through cycles.
Is how does private equity get back to basics, to doing deals and to selling companies? And that's what the business is about. You have to have a very specific point of view about what type of company you want to buy. And it takes many years sometimes to buy a business. And you have to have that operational expertise to add a lot of value.
Many discussions centred around shifts in the investment ecosystem, with a focus on growth in private credit, the impact of AI and tech, and how to secure returns in a more volatile market.
87% of companies that are 100 million in revenue or greater in the US are private. So if investors aren't getting access to that growth, then they're missing out on a whole part of the market that they otherwise couldn't get access to. And that's what things like private equity, private credit, secondaries, real estate infrastructure, GP stakes, all provides that access.
You know, if you look at bank lending or non-bank lending in the US, it's now, call it 65, 70% of all lending to corporates. In Europe, that number's probably flipped the other way. You know, the majority of all lending is still done by banks, and in Asia, it's the vast majority. So I think the good news is there's still a lot to come.
We focus on the mid-market. About 80% of what we do are in funds less than $3 billion. And I don't want to say it's business as usual, but I think the focus is now on what are they good at? What's their specialization? What's that toolkit look like, and where's the proof that they can execute on that?
The importance of talented and disciplined teams with deep sector expertise was emphasised throughout the week, with clear views on who will succeed in an increasingly competitive landscape.
It's the people who are making operational improvements, that are good at selecting the right assets, that they know how to manage the portfolio. They're good at buying and they're good at selling, meaning they're disciplined buyers in terms of price, and they're very disciplined about when to go to market to sell those assets. I think those people will be successful. I think the folks who are really good marketers and really good at financial engineering and not anything else are going to really struggle.
And what we found is the sponsor community want to narrow down that relationship base. They want to have a smaller bench of relationship lenders that they go to for a €100 million loan or a €1 billion loan.
What is your firm really good at? What is the thing that you do uniquely well that is defendable with great people and great technology? And then make sure that you are rewarding, incentivizing, and aligning those great people, arming and enabling them with great tech so that they can take share from the people that aren't doing that.
Alongside discipline came purpose, with U2 frontman Bono taking to the stage to showcase a different kind of performance, that of the Rise Fund, the impact investing partnership he co-founded 10 years ago with TPG that now has $28 billion of assets under management.
This is an industry that was launched on investing in good. It's actually just turned into an industry that's about good investing.
Rock stars, sporting champions and the superstars of private markets coming together from across the globe.
I think what's really impressive is the global nature of the attendees here. And whether that's South America or Australia or emerging markets in Asia, you get a real critical mass of people, and it creates a virtuous circle because they know that you're going to be here, it attracts more people to attend, so it becomes a must-have event.
And with more than 150,000 meetings taking place at this, the capital of private capital, the connections made at SuperReturn International will be the ones to catalyse deals, drive decisions and inspire innovation in an ever-shifting investment landscape.